welcome to JCR Garage, and this time it's a how-to video on how to tint your turn signal lenses. Now these are the spare ones I have for my Granada. You might be able to see that this one is already tinted a little bit from the inside and this one isn't. Now that is what gave me the idea to tint them, because I have a spare set, and well, when you have a spare set, why not tint them? So I have this weird backlight paint spray to, what does it say? Highlight rear lights. Transparent lacquer to highlight rear lights, and then just how to paint stuff. Now, I don't know how this is going to come out. I know this thing is really transparent because I used a red one of these on an earlier Granada. And I just lost the top. I used the red one to fix the taillights on an earlier Granada I had. Well, it wasn't mine, but I used it anyway. And that was really transparent, so I don't know how this is gonna look. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tint them both inside and out. I'm gonna start with the outside, and if it's too thin, I will also tint the insides. Now I'm only gonna need maybe one coat less on that one than that one, since that one is already tinted a little bit. So we'll get this protector thing out of the top of the can. There we go. And basically just get to spraying. Yep. That is now ready. Let's just start with the one that isn't tinted, shall we? That actually looks like it's covering pretty good. Let's do the other one. You can see already that that one is a lot darker than it was, and that one is a lot darker than that again. But what we're looking for here is a nice even coat. I think I'm just going to move this light stand a bit closer to speed up the drying process. And maybe we could just start another coat on this one. Now you want to put this on in real thin coats, just like this. Now I have two coats on both. Now one is a lot darker than the other, so we'll have to put another coat on this to get them pretty much even. I think they're pretty even right there. If we move the lamp around a bit, we'll see, yeah, needs some more tint in it. So I'm thinking we could move around to the back and also do the insides of this. Just get real nice coverage of this. That's turning around. There, now they look pretty nice and even from the back. Back to the front, and well, that helped a lot. They're a lot darker. Let's see if we can put another coat on these yet. I don't think so. It looks like it might be starting to run. So that is enough on that one. This one is darker, so I don't want to put another coat on this until that one's done. Oh well, we'll have a little break. And in the meantime, while that is trying to dry up a little bit, move the light closer to warm them up and help the drying. Now, we went away a little bit today and picked up some parts, amongst other a 2.6 V6 and this thing, the gauge cluster for a Granada GXL and Gia. Now this is going to find its way into my coupe. Now usually on the regular Granadas you have a speedometer and then fuel and temp gauge like these two, and then oil lamp and charging lamp. Now this has oil pressure, which is analog one with an oil line going all the way to the gauge. Also it has an amp gauge, which is, well, basically just showing if it's charging or discharging. Tach, which is going to be nice. And in there you can see a tiny little dot in between 30 and 40. That is the high beam lamp. Speedo that goes to 220k. Tank gauge, and well, fuel gauge, and a temp gauge. Now this is pretty much the only things I have right now with a lamp for those two with no tach. So this is gonna find its way into the coupe, and it's gonna be awesome. Now, among other parts, there was also, well, an extra starter, alternator, 4-speed trans, a head for a 2-liter Pinto or overhead cam. Yeah, some other small stuff. Nothing big really, except that 2.6 V6, and it actually still turns. Turns over, and there's no oil in it, so it hasn't rusted. It hasn't drawn any oil in and done anything bad to the engine. And I checked the dipstick, it's completely clean, no rust. The engine turns over freely. So yeah, that engine just might be pretty good. And as well as found the 2600 V6 emblems that were on the front fenders. Those were there as well. Now, I think I'm gonna try another quick dust coat on this one. Like that. Now I'll get over here and quick dust coat on that. If I had a flashlight, I could put it on the back of one of these and see how it shines through. But, well, you're gonna get blinded by the light quickly. It's still pretty nice and orange through it. I just stepped on something. Just a WD-40 lid, so it's not anything I shouldn't step on. Well, let's have a look here, and another dust coat. Back here, and another dust coat. I think I'm going to do another back coat. At least on the one that wasn't tinted already. And back on the inside of this one, where I can clearly see it shine through. Like so. There's a lot of, you can see it, there's a lot of paint dust flowing around in here now. These are actually starting to get pretty dark. And I'm liking what I see. Dust coat. Dust coat. Dust coat. And another dust coat. Now look at this. These are pretty much black right now. Now that is how you spray tint your turn signal lenses or taillight lenses or whatever lenses you might want to tint. Now the paint that I was using now is the tuning line. Let me move this around so you can actually see what it says. That's a lot of light over there. Yeah, tuning line by Motip backlight paint spray. This is the black one. I've also seen they have a red one that I've used before. I still actually have a little bit of it left. I used that to paint. Yeah, I painted the timing cover for the 2-liter that was in the Escort. I painted it first with wheel paint, the silvery regular wheel paint, and then a coat of the red taillight stuff of this over top of that, and it actually turned into a real nice Coca-Cola red. And it actually matched pretty good, and I actually like that color, so I might do that later again with something else I'm going to paint, because it was a real nice color. Now this is just for rattle can stuff, and I'm not going to use that for like painting an entire car pretty much almost candy silvery red. But for small stuff like on an engine, like detailing stuff on an engine, it's pretty good. Now one more coat on this one. I'm thinking they are pretty much the same at this point. You can still see some orange shining through here, so I might just do that. And back around here to that. Now, how does it shine through? Still nice and orange. So it's not gonna, well, it's gonna attract some attention, well, unwanted attention, with these being black. But it's not gonna be too bad. Now that actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna look back at this tomorrow because it's getting dark out, and I'm have to use this light stand here to actually see anything. And tomorrow the Mini, I don't know if I showed any of you this before. This Mini van, 850 van that my brother had and was supposed to put back together and refurbish. It was actually sold, and it's getting picked up tomorrow. And when that gets picked up, we're going a couple of hours south to pick up an 81 Ford Taunus that he is gonna have instead as a winter car. Because right now he's driving my dad's 63 Falcon. And when you just get your license and you drive a 60s car that's your dad's, he typically doesn't want to let his son drive it in winter. Because the back end's real light, there's no power steering, there's no power anything. And, well, yeah. So he's going to get a 1.6 Taunus tomorrow that we're going to go pick up. And this is getting picked up tomorrow morning. As you can see, it's dark out through windows, which means it's not night yet, but it's Norway in the evening, in the autumn, well, fall or autumn or whatever you want to call it. Now this Mini was the 850 version. Got it a couple of years ago. Fired it up for the first time in 30 years, and figured out, well, fine, it runs. We'll tear it apart. Tore it apart and, well, went over the body, sanded away everything where we saw there were spots from rust damage on the back. Like we found this thing, so we just sanded the whole way down just to make sure it was nice and clean. Then in pretty much every joint, like here is where the front fender is joined together with the front plate. And while up here was some rust up here. And then all the way down here, under here, and fixed all the rust on the other side. But I still have this entire side left to go. We figured we weren't really going to get time to do it. As well as the car had been on its roof 30 years ago, so we had to straighten the roof back out. You can still see there are a lot of like small dents in it, but it's nothing bad. It was pretty much tilted over that way when we got it. We got that fixed all up and weathered away all the rust on this side. Yeah, but now it's going away tomorrow, and we'll see what happens with the tonus. But anyway, that is pretty much it for now. With me tinting the Granada's turn signal lenses. They actually came out pretty good. I think those are going to do a lot better on the car than the ones that are there now. And look a lot better at least. I also have the taillights that are also tinted, but I'm not going to use these or the tinted taillights when I go to have it inspected, because, well, I'm not going to get it through with that. Now, that is, like I said, that's it for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Maybe make a video tomorrow when we're getting the tonus, and also might be another video coming up of me hunting for a Granada parts car, because I know where one is. Well, I don't know exactly where one is. I know there is one maybe 15 minutes from here in the woods somewhere, and I want it. I'm going to try to get it. First I got to find it, and then I'm going to try to get it. So that might be a couple of videos coming up. I'm not sure I'm going to make a video tomorrow on getting the tonus, but we'll see what happens. Like I always say, take care, like and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and stay safe.